Hello, folks. Thank you for attending today's session on Caseta Wireless. My name is Eddie Miro. I'm an outside salesman for Thea Lutron and have been with the company for 36 years. Today, we're going to introduce Caseta Wireless to you. Some of you may already be familiar with Caseta, and for some of you, may be new to you. So any questions you have, let's save them towards the end of the presentation. So let's begin. Okay, so the Caseta Wireless opportunity, right? We all hear the term connected home, smart home, right? So that's really where Caseta fits into that whole connected home conversation that is going on today. Caseta is about 5 years since it's been introduced to phenomenal success, right? So the connected home, right, really means opportunities for us in the world of Caseta. Okay, so how does Lutron fit into that Caseta home, connected home, I should say, as I just mentioned with Caseta Wireless, right? So Caseta Wireless is a group of products. They're both dimmers, switches, can be used in a standalone application and in a connected home application. And we're going to go through the components throughout the presentation. Okay, so what is Caseta Wireless? It's a simple, affordable, and I highlighted the word affordable. You can buy a starter kit that gives you a bridge, a dimmer, and a Pico for a $200 list price. So it's extremely affordable. As far as the reliability is concerned, we're going to get into that a little bit further into the presentation, but Lutron created what is called the Clear Connect technology. It's an RF protocol that is their own protocol. It has been out for over 25 years and is 100% reliable. Okay, the products are controlled. We can control lights, we can control temperature and shades. And as I mentioned before, we can use Caseta both in a standalone application and a connected home application. So we're going to cover both. Okay, standalones, very simple. We've got a group of products, right? We've got dimmers, switches, lamp modules, our little Pico controllers, which are little remotes that communicate with those dimmers or switches. And we can even tie in shades if we'd like. We're going to get into the products now that make up Caseta. All right, so we're going to start with dimmers. We have 3 different types of dimmers. We've got our PD6W, which is our entry-level dimmer. Dims 150 watts of LEDs. Can also do incandescence up to 600 watts. No neutral. It is a single pole device. So what that means is if you happen to have a 3-way application, you would use a Pico on the other side. You cap your wires, throw in a Pico with a Pico adapter plate, and you've got that 3-way solution covered. Our 250 watt LED dimmer, which is the PD10NXD, okay, the N stands for neutral. That one does require a neutral. And again, in a 3-way, you can use a Pico, or in this case, with this particular model, you can use an existing mechanical 3-way switch that's already installed on the other side. For electronic low voltage loads, right, a lot of these LED drivers require reverse phase dimming or ELV, so that would be solved by using the PD-5NE, as you see there. It'll do 250 watts of LEDs, 500 watts of ELV load, which is a lot, and 400 watts of magnetic low voltage. So any fixture that requires reverse phase dimming or ELV loads, this would be your dimmer to use. Switches, we may have loads that we don't want to dim, right? We just want to turn on and off, right? So we offer 2 types of switches in the world of Caseta, right? The PD-6ANS, which is a 6 amp neutral required switch, okay? We'll just turn those loads on and off. All right, and then we offer the PD5WS, which is a 5 amp rated dual voltage 120 or 277. We've actually used Caseta in some restaurant applications, and a lot of times the voltage is 277 volts, so this would be the switch that we would use in that application. Okay, anywhere where you see the word Pro with that associated product, it is not sold online, right? It's covered by Lutron's online reseller policy. So they are not sold on the big box stores nor online. Okay, a lot of homes out there have table lamps or floor lamps. Our solution there is our plug-in lamp dimmer. It's essentially a dimmer in a box that gets plugged into the receptacle. 100 watts of LED load covered, 2-wire, right? We don't want people trying to plug in TVs and trying to control it. So it's specifically designed for 2-wire applications, which are your table lamps or your floor lamps. All the pricing that you see listed are list pricing, all right? Some new products that were recently introduced. This was introduced towards the third quarter of last year. The number one requested item for Caseta prior to us launching this was a fan speed control. So we launched this about third quarter of last year. It controls the fans. All right, you got 4 speeds of fan, on, off, and 4 speeds. You also have a favorite speed, so you could set it at the third level. Press and hold in that favorite scene button, and it sets it in about 3 seconds, and it's always preset to that third level. You can also pair a Pico to the fan speed control and control that fan not only locally at the device, but also with the Pico fan speed control. All righty. This was introduced about 60 days ago, and this kind of takes us to a new level as we get into the bridge. Each bridge does about a 2,500 square foot home, okay? By adding a repeater, which we just introduced about 60 days ago, it extends the system out another 60 feet. So you can mount the main bridge and the repeater 60 feet from each other and have additional coverage. So when you're installing the repeater to the bridge, in effect, you can cover up to about a 5,000 square foot home. It's a pretty big home. We also introduced a smart motion sensor. This is a wireless sensor. So for those of you that are familiar with Vive, right, we've had these wireless sensors out for about 10 years now. We brought one over to the Caseta family. So now we can have an auto off, auto on. So let's say in a laundry room, you open the door, you step into the laundry room, the sensor picks you up, it automatically triggers the light off. And then a set time off feature, which could be anywhere from 1 to 5 to 15 to 30 minutes, those lights will automatically shut off. Another great application for the sensor are basements, right? You're coming down the stairs, you can mount a sensor right at the bottom of the stairs, so that once you hit the bottom of the stairs, the lights turn on. And more importantly, especially if you have the kids in a finished basement, when they come upstairs, they don't tend to shut the lights off, right? This will automatically trigger the lights off when it doesn't sense any motion. Alrighty, so that's a very, very nice feature. So 2 big additions to the family of Caseta, which is that repeater and the sensor. Okay, Picos are little remote controls, right? So these guys get paired to either a dimmer or a switch and can remotely turn them on and off. Okay, we have a whole family of Picos these days. We've got dimming Picos, we've got scene Picos, we've got on-off Picos. I think the next slide will show you the entire family so you can kind of get a sense. But these allow you to turn that load on and off remotely. You could be 60 feet away if it's an open line of sight, or 30 feet through walls. This also lends itself to what a lot of contractors have standardized on today, which is basically using Caseta in a wireless 3-way application, right? So a perfect application would be a 2-story home where they have a chandelier downstairs and it was only wired as a single pole, right? They can only turn that chandelier on and off and dim it from downstairs. By putting in a Caseta dimmer or switch, pairing a Pico to it, they can take a Pico, mount it upstairs, and now they have a wireless 3-way control from upstairs. So a lot of contractors have standardized on the Caseta solution for these wireless 3-way applications. Alrighty. Okay, just wanted to point out that about 3 years ago, Lutron developed an audio Pico that was specifically designed to turn on and off Sonos speakers, right? If you have Sonos speakers in the home, you would have to open up your app to turn on the music. By pairing our audio Pico to your Sonos app, you can have control right at the Pico. So you come into your family room, you hit that top button of the Pico, it'll turn that Sonos music on, and then you could fast forward, you could skip, you can pause. You can see there, all the different things that you can do with it. and that has a list price of $49. So if there's a Sonos speaker in the house, you can now pair an audio Pico to it and have control right from the Pico. Accessories, right? Very important. The one on the left you see there is our pedestal. That comes in both white and black, and a single, double, and a triple, right? What's pictured there is the single. So if you have a Pico that's maybe in a family room, yes, you could leave it on a table. Chances are it's going to slide off, get knocked over. By mounting it on that pedestal, it's going to sit very nicely on that pedestal, and the pedestals on the bottom have this little rubber grip, so they don't tend to slide off tables very easily. If you wanted to have a Pico in your car to turn on a pathway of lights when you pull up in the driveway, we offer a car visor clip. That wall mounting kit is a three-way solution, as I mentioned before. In a three-way with our dimmer, you would have to purchase a Pico, an adapter plate, and obviously we want you to use our screwless face plates. This kit here gives you all three under one SKU. Okay, so it makes it very easy to give the contractor a three-way solution. We talked about our Picos, and there's that adapter plate. So if you have a Pico that you want to mount in an existing electrical box, right, it's not going to fit in there by itself. So you just have to buy that Pico adapter plate. The Pico itself will slide onto the adapter plate, and then you mount the adapter plate in the gang box, and you're ready to roll, right? You put your screwless faceplate over it, and now you got a wireless three-way control mounted inside an electrical box. Yes, you can also pair our wireless battery-operated shades. This is pretty cool stuff. These are D-cell batteries that you can also pair to the bridge and have wireless control from the app. You could pair a Pico to it and have local control via the Pico. So shades are part of the Caseta family. Okay, we talked about standalone applications, so now we're going to talk about that connected home solution. So if we want that connected home solution, what do we need to add? Well, we just need to add the bridge. Okay, so what is Caseta Wireless Connected? It gives you the ability to control your lights, your temperature, and shades from an app. The number one thing that homeowners want to be able to control within their house from outside their house is HVAC. Number two is lighting control. So with Caseta, it allows you to have both. Okay, we offer two types of bridges, right? So you'll see the bridge on the left, the LBDG2WH, and then the one on the right, which adds the word Pro, right? So they are identical with the exception of the Pro allows for that system integration with select security and AV systems. Some of those examples are Alarm.com, Control4, URC, Savant, and so on. The bridge ties into the homeowner's router. Okay, you download the app, which is free. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes to set up, and you're ready to roll. You download the app, and the app literally walks you through the steps to set up the system. We've increased the amount of devices that a Caseta system can now control. When it was originally launched, it was 50 devices. Now it is up to 75 devices. Okay. So initially, again, you only had one bridge was allowed. By us adding that repeater, in effect, it doubles the amount of coverage within a home. So you've got 75 devices and up to a 5,000 square foot home when you're using the repeater. Okay, and there's a lot of homes from 2,000 to 5,000 square feet. So that's why Caseta fits so nicely in that demographic. Okay, reliability. This is extremely important, especially for our electrical contractor friends, right? They want to be able to install something that they know is reliable and that will work and that will avoid callbacks. So how do we do that? So Lutron developed a protocol that they call Clear Connect, right? So that is their RF protocol that they have designed themselves. All right, and an example there is you can see the way we communicate. We communicate on 434 megahertz, right? It's a very low bandwidth. You have to be able to send and receive the signal very quickly. Everything else today is on, tends to be at much, much higher. And the example that's showing here is a 2.4 gigahertz, right? So it's an extremely reliable system that Lutron has developed. It is now over 25 years when it was released under Radio Ra. So you've got 25 years of proven 100% reliability. There are millions of devices installed and billions of messages being sent. So it is a RF protocol developed by Lutron, and it just works and no callbacks, right? Very, very important for the end user. Okay, control from anywhere in the world, right? That's what most of us want these days with our smart device, right? So we want to be on vacation in Florida and just monitor our home and make sure the HVAC is turned down, or the heat is up, and the lights are off. So you can do this, quite frankly, from anywhere in the world when you're using the bridge through the app. Okay, as I mentioned before, temperature control is very important for homeowners, right? So we integrate with Honeywell. You see a whole host of Honeywell Wi-Fi units there. But besides Honeywell, also Carrier, Ecobee, all right? So all of these do get tied into the app when you're using Caseta. Okay, again, back to the app. That's what the app looks like there, right? What can you do with this app? You can schedule lights, you can have scenes, I can control temperature, I can control shades. It's free, as I mentioned before, for Apple and Androids. The way you download the app is just search for Lutron, Caseta, and Ra2 Select, and then you just download the app and you're on your way. So, and that also is a picture of what the bridge looks like there. Okay, what does the app allow you to do? It allows you to have dimmer control, Pico control. You can see on number 3 there, the slider in the app, right? I could turn those lights on and off, or I could raise the light level, I could lower the light level, all with the touch of a button. I can create scenes in the app, so I can have specific scenes happen with the touch of a button. And then slide number 5 there, I can have timed out features or timed in features, right? So it's 8 o'clock at night, my post light in the front yard comes on, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, it will turn itself off. When the bridge is tied into your router, it essentially becomes an astronomical time clock. So you could have these scenes happen at a specific time of the day and a specific time of the night, turn on, turn off, up to 2 hours before sunset, up to 2 hours before sunrise. So it's a whole host of settings that you can do. Okay, integration alliances, right? So yes, we work with Apple, Alexa, the Google Home, Sonos, as we mentioned before. You can see all these integration partners that we have partnered up with. So basically, it's apps riding on apps, whether they're riding on our app, whether we're riding on their app. You can integrate those now with Caseta. It's pretty cool, right? You walk into your kitchen and you tell Alexa, hey, Alexa, turn on my lights, and they turn on automatically. You exit the kitchen, hey, Alexa, turn off my lights, and she shuts the lights off. So it's the world we live in. Caseta allows you to live in that world. As I mentioned, when you're using the Pro Bridge, it allows for the AV and security integration. There are some of those partners, not all of them, but just some of them. If you have alarm.com, and that one seems to be coming on pretty strong, we can tie into alarm.com. Crestron, Control4, Savant, you name it, we can tie into their systems using the Pro Bridge. Okay, so to recap, why use Caseta Wireless, right? It's simple, it's easy to design, it's easy to install, and easy to set up. Reliable, that's Clear Connect, man, it just works, right? It's 100% reliable. Affordability, 9 out of 10 homes can afford Caseta. Again, the sweet spot, a 1,500 square foot house, all the way up to a 5,000 square foot house and everything in between. 75 devices is a lot of devices, guys. You can easily, have 40 to 50 devices in a 4,000 to 5,000 square foot house, but 75 devices is a lot. So, and again, very, very affordable. So those are the reasons to use Caseta. We just wanted to add, as far as tech support is concerned, you know, Lutron is fanatical about their quality. So they offer a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline in Pennsylvania. You can call that number any time of the week, any time of the day, and you will get somebody on the phone. Okay, so there's the number. That is also the current Caseta brochure, right? All of Lutron's literatures come with a part number that is listed on the back page of all their brochures. In this case, the Caseta brochure is at 367-2499. If you need Caseta brochures, you could say, hey, send me some Caseta brochures, or you could say, hey, send me 5367-2499s, because that's the way we order them for you. So you'll get sent right out. But that is the most current Caseta brochure. And you'll know it's the most current one because you'll see the sensor on the front cover. Okay, so if you have a Caseta brochure and you don't see that wireless sensor on the front cover, you know it's an older brochure and you got to get a new one. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Thank you. And at this point, we're going to take some questions. So any questions, if you can put them in the question box, and we'll try to answer them for you. And if not, again, thank you for attending. And most importantly, please be safe to you and your family. And we'll get through these challenging times together.
Long Island at 16.7, New York City at 21.2, Westchester Rockland 11.6.
Any questions? I don't see anything in the box yet.
Hey, Ed, are you taking live questions?
Sure.
Is there any talk of coming out with a devices that could be controlled wirelessly?
What kind of device are you talking about?
I know they have it, I believe, in Vive, where you could actually turn outlets on and off.
Yeah, those are for commercial applications. We don't have receptacles in Caseta that you can turn on and off. And the concern is on the residential side is what gets plugged into that outlet. So we only have the plug-in dimmer.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I didn't know if there's anything on the horizon.
No. That repeater was a big deal, guys, when they introduced that repeater a few months back. That really doubles the size of a Caseta home, right? You know, Lutron specs on their bridge is 2,500 square feet. I like to tell contractors it'll do up to 3,000. But if we're going strictly by spec, you know, the bridge does 2,500 square feet. And now by adding that repeater, essentially we're doubling that. So we could cover up to a 5,000 square foot house now in Caseta. So that's a pretty big deal these days. Any other questions?